Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Akhil. So, pronounce your surname.
Buddhi, ma'am.
You are from Siddipet,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have graduated in which year? 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, how many districts are there in Telangana?
Ma'am, 33 districts, ma'am.
What is the population of Telangana?
Ma'am, it's 3.5 crores, approximately.
Okay. What is? Can you tell me the irrigated area of Telangana?
Ma'am, I'm not very sure about it.
Okay. Fine. So your parent, you are from agriculture background,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So can you, if you are made secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, how will you convince farmers about 3 farm bills?
Yes, ma'am.
First tell me 3 farm bills and then tell me how will you convince farmers regarding the same.
Ma'am, I'm not exactly remembering the names of the 3 farm bills, but
Tell
one
me
is
provisions.
one is related to contract farming, and another one is related to direct selling of farmers' produce outside uh, agriculture markets, scheduled agriculture markets, and third one is related to land tenures, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, and as an agriculture secretary, I'll focus on 3 main areas, ma'am. One is extending agriculture extension services to the farmers. Why? Because farmers many times are uncertain about their marketing and uncertain about what are the products that we need to use. If we can make extension services closer to the farmers, then it will be easier for us to convince them to go for contract farming.
So you are talking about a resilient supply chain is what you are saying? Supply chain, forward and backward linkages of farming?
Ma'am, I am talking about assured inputs availability and timely advice to the farmers.
So how will you convince farmers was my question.
Not only farmers, he has to convince his father also. His father is
you have
also
to
doing
convince
it.
your parents also. Like, your mother and
Yes,
father.
ma'am. Just with the words, it's very difficult to convince them. We need to show that in the actual ground, there are certain provisions and safeguards available for them. Once they get to habituated to these changes, they will slowly and certainly move towards this, ma'am. The second thing I will focus on building the trust between the farmers and officials.
And how will you do that?
Ma'am, there is a lack of communication between the officials at the higher levels and the farmers, ma'am. While taking decisions, agriculture farmers are mainly neglected in many cases. While taking decisions and while making some provisions related to them, we need to take them into confidence and we need to make them stakeholders in our discussions.
So don't you think India is mostly agricultural economy? If you include all the farmers in debate and discussion, don't you think policy making would be delayed?
Ma'am, it's difficult to include all of the farmers in our discussions, but we can take inputs from the ground situation, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me what is totally organic farming? In which state is totally declared as organic farming state?
Ma'am, it is Sikkim.
Okay, what percent of GDP does organic farming contribute to?
Sikkim?
No. In our GDP, how much does organic farming contribute?
Ma'am, I am not very sure.
Okay. What is your take on Uniform Civil Code?
Ma'am, it is desirable and we should go for it, but we should go in appropriate time and with appropriate pace, ma'am.
So, which article of Constitution mentions it?
Ma'am, as far as I remember, Article 44 talks about Uniform Civil Code.
So, you think it is the right time for India to implement Uniform Civil Code?
Ma'am, suddenly it's very difficult to implement UCC and we cannot say that it is the right time across India to implement UCC.
So, when is the right time?
Right time will yet to come, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Tell me, what is the Raitu Bandhu scheme?
Ma'am, Raitu Bandhu scheme is a income support scheme for the farmers. It will give 5,000 rupees per acre.
What is it particularly about? Does it support income or does it support investment?
Ma'am, it supports purchasing of inputs to the farmers.
That is investment.
Yes.
Okay. What is the benefit given by Raitu Bandhu scheme?
5,000 rupees per acre per crop, ma'am.
Yes.
in one cropping season.
Do you know something about Kalia scheme of Odisha?
Yes, ma'am. As far as I remember correctly, it is similar to the Raitu Bandhu scheme, but I am not very sure about how much they offer and what are the exact
Can you
provisions.
tell me one difference between Raitu Bandhu and Kalia?
Ma'am, I am not sure.
Okay, fine.
Ranjit,
Yeah. So you are from Kakatiya University. So do you believe the Kakatiya's type kind of administration is suitable today? So first tell me, highlight features of Kakatiya administration and then tell whether it is suitable to modern day or not.
Sir, I'm not exactly getting your question. Can you please simplify?
what is the Kakatiya model of administration? Do you think is this form of administration is suitable in the modern day?
Sorry, sir, I'm unable to recall that.
Okay. So I think your parents are from agriculture background. So highlight some unique features of Telangana geography which was impacting its agriculture.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have two seasons, mainly two agriculture seasons. One is Kharif and Rabi. During Kharif, we will have good rainfall from the southeast monsoon. But during Rabi season, we have very hot, dry conditions and less humidity in the air. It leads to broken rice or rice which is deficit in humidity. So when we go for milling, it will leads to high brocage rice. And in overall, cotton is also a productive crop in our area due to high summer days.
So you are talking about paddy.
Yes.
So I believe paddy is a water intensive crop, but Telangana is a dry arid region.
Yes, sir.
So your parents also follow the paddy crop.
Yes.
So I think you have decent knowledge about this. So
Yes.
why don't you suggested your parents to shift to according to the climatic conditions?
Yes, sir. Sir, apart from paddy, alternative crops that we can cultivate in our region is that one is cotton, second one is maize. Sir, cotton, what happened in couple of years back, there were untimely rains. So when untimely rain hit cotton crop, it will entirely damages. Unlike paddy, which we can dry it and sell it. But for cotton, it will become black and it will get less market price. And second, maize crop, due to deforestation and reduced forest cover, there is a increase in monkey maintenance, wherein entire crop in an acre is being eaten by monkey maintenance in one day. So it become unproductive, sir.
So the reasons you are telling are temporary, or those are not particularly prolonged reasons.
Yes, sir.
So as an educated person, don't you think telling some random reasons for not following the climate suitable crop, is it justified?
Sir, for that we also need to consider the disposable incomes or the income reserves that we have. If in a particular season or if a crop get damaged, we will be in debt trap. So it's almost like unescapable solution to go for paddy.
So why don't you think millets are not an alternative? Millets, ragi, jowar, bajra.
Yes, sir, I agree that they are suitable alternatives, but sir, for that we don't have sufficient knowledge in the exact ground scenario, at what time what fertilizer should be applied, and at what are the crop management scenarios that we should adopt, and the labor in our region are lacking awareness regarding what we should do with the crop. So to sum up, extension services should be developed, and we need to have assured supply of seeds, fertilizers and small equipments which are suitable for that crops in our local stores for a couple of years in order to adopt those crops, sir.
Have you heard about the news regarding abortion controversy in USA?
Yes, yes, sir.
So what is your stand? Should the baby in the womb given equal respect and equal opportunity of life, or should be more progressive enough? So what is your stand on it?
Sir, I believe abortion, right or wrong, should depend upon the time of abortion. Whether fetus in the womb can be able to sustain outside the mother is a key time period based on which we should decide whether abortion should be right or wrong. If fetus cannot sustain as an independent living entity outside womb, then I believe, sir, women should have a say in her own rights, her own bodily rights. But if fetus can sustain outside the mother's womb, then from that point, sir, fetus has their own rights.
What is the legal permit in India? Abortion period.
Ma'am, I am not able to
So
recollect
you are
exactly.
telling that time when fetus can survive outside.
Yes.
So what is that time?
I am not exactly able to recollect it, sir.
So to summarize, you are telling that the baby which got the life inside the mother womb is not life per se. So
Yeah.
can I summarize in that way?
No, sir, but we should, in that case, we should prioritize mother's life, mother's bodily rights, and
No, I'm
fetus.
telling about a normal scenario in India for the legal provisions. Before 20 weeks, an woman can conduct abortion without any harm. If there is no harm to her health also,
Yes, sir.
she can go for abortion. Is it permitted? It should be permitted or not. It's not about risk of the woman's life. It's for sake of their beauty or for sake of other purposes also. Abortion is allowed. So what do you think on this aspect?
Sir, I think it should be allowed, because sometimes an unwanted pregnancy can happen, and if that baby gets delivered, that mother may not care that baby properly, and that baby may not be able to get her life fully without proper parental care, proper parental affection. So in that case, sir, it's better to give the women a choice whether to get aborted or not.
Okay, you have studied civil engineering. What made you to write civil service exam?
Ma'am, civil services examination has always been my dream, and it has always been my father's dream. Right from my school age, he always dreamt me of an IAS officer.
Just because you have a dream, you cannot be in civil services.
Yes, ma'am.
No, dream is something which drives you.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
why you should be selected?
Ma'am, this civil services demands social affection and respect for the nation, and respect for the unity and integrity of the nation, and willingness to work on the field, and willingness to adapt and learn to the new challenges. Ma'am, I believe that these are the qualities which I have, and I love to pursue them in future also.
Right. What is your opinion on the present debate on sedition, section 124A of IPC?
Yes, ma'am.
Should it be continued?
Ma'am, it should be abolished in my opinion. Ma'am, we have better alternatives such as Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and Public Safety Act. Since it is a colonial act, so in many cases it is being misused, and many innocent publications due to political reasons are getting affected, and they are landing up in jails without getting bail. So as a safeguard, we can remove this act, remove this section, and we can use better
Remove or
use
repeal?
repeal, ma'am.
Okay, Akhil, you seem to be very fit. I would like to ask you some questions on your fitness,
Okay,
if you allow me to do so.
Okay, sir.
No.
Okay. So, Akhil, tell me what is the difference between marathon and decathlon?
Sir, marathon is a form of running which is on the road, and it is continuous on a particular piece of track, and it is lasts for a certain distance. I am not very sure about the distance, I am unable to recall it, sir. But decathlon, we have different events such as cycling, swimming, or hurdles, etc.
Okay. So, did you ever participate in some professional type of running and sports?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, Akhil, tell me what is the motto of NCC?
Sir, NCC's motto is that unity and discipline.
Can you sing me the song for the NCC?
Sir, shall I stand up and sing?
Yes, please.
Sir, I'm not able to exactly recollect the lyrics. Sir, the song name is Hum Sab Bharati Hai.
At least 2 lines.
Yes, you can sing. You can stand up and sing.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'll recollect the lyrics. हम सब भारतीय है, अपनी मंजिल एक है, कश्मीर धरती की रानी है, सरदार हिमालय.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let me take your seat. Okay. You have graduated from civil engineering.
Yes.
So can you tell me what is the difference between green building and smart building?
Yes, sir. Can you allow me 1 minute to think?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, green building is sustainable and environmental friendly. It uses techniques such as reusing of grey water and allowing maximum ventilation to reduce the energy cost. And whereas coming to smart buildings is a usage of ICT and artificial intelligence and machine learning kind of technologies to simplify the living in that building, sir.
Okay. So can you name one of the green building which you have observed in your recent past?
Sir, I am not very sure.
Okay. So are you aware of this Griha rating?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you just elaborate on that aspect?
Sir, Griha rating is being given to the green buildings, and that rating is depends on how much sustainable and how much of renewable energy that a building use and how much less carbon emissions it emits.
Who gives that rating?
Sir, it's Terry.
Okay, very good. So can you tell me, can you rate on a scale of 10 of the achievements or the activities done under Swachh Bharat in India?
Sir, I would rate it as 8.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that aspect? Why did you give 8?
Sir, I have given on a higher scale because it has brought up a revolutionary change in the sanitation behavior of our Indians, and it drastically improved the sanitation coverage, and it also worked on the very important aspects of behavioral change. So for that reason I have given 8, sir. I reduced 2 stars because it has some loopholes still. There are areas to focus upon, such as roadside cleaning, and there is public littering still happening. We need to reduce that, sir.
Right. So you seem to have headed a committee or a unit in your college.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what differentiates you as a leader from the other leaders which you might have inspired from?
Yes, sir.
What is that distinct quality you possess as a leader?
Sir, I believe that respect for inclusiveness and respect for the motivation that I can build in my team members is a distinguished factor, sir.
Can you just elaborate on an instance where you have done that by
Yes, sir.
improving inclusivity or motivating your team members?
Yes, sir. While heading the student coordination center, we were supposed to list down the major demands of our students to improve the infrastructure, improve the faculty ratio in our college. In that scenario, sir, I tried to include all the demands from different branches. So sir, we have decided on a parameter that every branch should get an opportunity, and top 2 demands of each branch will be listed in a in a priority basis. Then whatever the branch facing the difficulties more will get the chance, but after these 2 demands per branch has been listed only.
Okay, right. So can you just tell me what are the new technologies you might have observed in civil engineering, especially in recent past?
Yes, sir.
Good ones which will be useful for the future.
Sir, self-healing concrete fascinates me more in the recent times, and sir, fabricated structures is also a new area, sir, which can potentially aid our low cost affordable buildings schemes.
Are you aware of this concept called sponge cities?
Yes, sir.
What is that? And
Sir,
what makes that to be like what it makes to be called as a sponge?
Sir, sponge cities catches and stores rainwater and used water in the free open spaces and green spaces, sir, and we also have the facility, they will also have the facility to store them under the structures also.
Okay. Is it anyway related to roads or road infrastructure?
Yes, sir. In the open spaces which are besides the roads, we can use that space as a sponge, and we can use that space to collect rainwater and store it underground.
So are you aware, like, why aren't we adopting that in India?
Yes, sir, it's a difficult technology to adopt